Hey there, Gemini. How are you today? How are you today? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, June 23rd through Thursday, June 26th. I'll be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings to get you through the weekend. That's the whole story. We're just going to pull cards and see what Spirit wants to bring forward or talk about for my Geminis. Okay, let's see. What we got? Gemini. Okay. All right, from the top, what are we doing? We've got, oh, excuse me, the Ten of Cups. Well, that's never a bad way to start it off. There we go, Ten of Cups, followed by the Ace of Swords, and then I have the King of Swords. So this is your recent past or your backstory. Currently, I have you with the Fool card, the Ten of Wands, and the Magician. In the near future, I'm looking at the Five of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the World card. Alrighty, bottom of the deck for this one is actually the Three of Pentacles. So the undercurrent to this particular reading has to do with collaborations of some sort, okay? All right, the card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation somehow, is the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands speaks of, the Ten of Wands speaks of a very heavy burden, one that normally no longer serves you and you need to lay it down, okay? We'll see how these two play in as we go. Okay, so let's start from the recent past where I have Ten of Cups, Ace of Swords, King of Swords. Okay, so here in the recent past, it would absolutely feel as though you had stumbled onto your Ten of Cups, right? You had found it, at the very least, what you intended to carry you to your emotional fulfillment. You're presenting here as the King of Swords. So number one, you're standing in your masculine, male or female, doesn't matter, but you are definitely running the kingdom that you are sitting within. It says that you're very intelligent, very analytical, very logical. You're trying to keep emotions at bay, though. You're definitely trying to keep emotions out of your decision-making process, even though you are somehow working towards emotional fulfillment. So maybe you're just trying to keep it all separate. In the center, it looks like the issue here became some sort of truth. I don't get the feeling a truth was brought to you. I get the feeling you finally opened your eyes to a truth, possibly one that had been right in front of you the whole time, right? But you didn't want to see it. Okay, that's what I got for the recent past. So here we go. Let's go from there to the current and see how this plays in. Hold on. So what I'm seeing right now, wait a minute, is that you were trying to deal with everything from a totally logical standpoint and had to come to terms with the truth that your life was not complete unless you could incorporate this Ten of Cups. That's how I see this now. And to incorporate the Ten of Cups, you needed a collaboration. Okay, there we go. That's what we're doing here. That's why collaboration's at the bottom. So possibly you had found total contentment and were just zooming forward with your life thinking you were happy, but you were doing it basically solo. And then you figured out that the truth of the matter was you needed to be in a collaboration to try to get to this emotional fulfillment. Okay, moving forward. What do we got now? Now we've got the Fool, the Ten of Wands, and the Magician. So as soon as you figured out that's what you needed, you began to manifest that you have that, right? But this fact became a very heavy burden to you. Possibly because it just makes you feel very uncomfortable. With the Fool card, it looks as though you've now figured out a situation that you wouldn't mind taking a leap towards. In my mind, intuitively, I'm hearing you have picked something that you know is unattainable, being able, that keeps you in your safety zone. You know what I'm saying? Like you're picking things you know you're really not going to get so that you don't really have to open up. Okay. Are you playing a head game with yourself? Is that what you're doing, Gemini? That's what this feels like. All right, you are carrying around a heavy burden with the fact that you can't achieve what all it is you want, but it feels like you're stacking the deck against yourself on purpose. Kind of like when you set your alarm for 15 minutes early, but how can it help? I mean, you know it's 15 minutes early when you set your clock 15 minutes early. I mean, to try to trick yourself into getting out of bed early or whatever. Anyways, okay, keep going. In the near future, what I got, the Five of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the World card. The Five of Swords is you are just heavily conflicted about being vulnerable and letting true emotion flow. Period. It makes you uncomfortable. That's what I see here. So for that reason, you are trying to literally stack the deck against you so that you put yourself in situations where you know it's not going to come together right, so that you won't have to you won't have to be vulnerable or let emotion flow. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune and the World card. The World card would say this cycle of BS that you're putting yourself through right here, it's going to come to an end soon, okay? It's ending up here. And that's happening with the Wheel of Fortune as the driver of that train, because at some point you've got to quit playing this silly game with yourself, really. Either you're going to have to come forward and just admit that you don't want to have emotion and live your life accordingly, or you're going to have to open up and let it in. You can't just keep sabotaging yourself. Like, that's what it feels like you're doing here repeatedly. Okay, sorry. So behind the Three of Pentacles, I have the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. It feels like you have somebody who wants to try to build with you, even though I think you've probably done everything in your power to make them not want to. They still want to for some reason. How's that? That'll show you, huh? That's what it feels like. Okay, what else we got here? I don't know. Hold on. Only a Gemini. No, I'm just kidding. Not only a Gemini, but you can bet a Gemini does it better, right? There you go. I've got the Tower, the Three of Wands, and the Two of Swords. You're saying you don't have the information necessary to make the decisions that are being put in front of you about going towards your future. You let towers fall all the time around you because it wasn't something you really wanted anyways. These towers, although you're connected to them, very rarely do they actually have much effect on you. Okay, they're pretty much other people's deal over there, you know. You're connected to it kind of, but because you're not emotionally invested, it doesn't hurt you that much. I got the Four of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Three of Swords. And you do all this because at some point you were heartbroken. With the Four of Pentacles, that's what you're hanging on to. You're hanging on to that heartbreak. You're hanging on to it because you don't intend to ever let it happen again. That's fine. You can do that, okay? But then you have to understand you're not going to attain the level of happiness or love that you want. You can't have both, okay? You can hang on to this heartbreak and decide you're going to cut emotion out and move on with your life. But you cannot have then the massive amount of happiness and all this other, stuff, this glorious stuff other people talk about. You can't get that from the road you're going to take to do this, okay? Something's got to give somewhere, dear, okay? So, there you go. All right, 3 more and we'll go to the days of the week. What do I got? Ace of Pentacles, that's an opportunity coming towards you. Ace of Cups, the opportunity is not only attached to money, but it's also got love involved, and it will carry you to the 10 of Pentacles. Without it, you might not get to the 10 of Pentacles, okay? They can hold that ransom, Spirit can hold that ransom. You're not going to get there unless you agree to do this. That's almost how I feel about it. Let's see. Monday, you've got the Knight of Wands and the 8 of Cups. You're trying to walk away from something again because you don't want to take a chance, which is your prerogative, okay? There we go. Tuesday, you have the 6 of Swords and the Ace of Wands. But there's something holding on to you. There's some kind of inspiration towards whatever it is you're trying to walk away from that's making it difficult. With the 6 of Swords, you're swearing you need to go to calmer waters. Wednesday, I've got the Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. You're letting other people and their opinions about you and your life influence you, it looks like, on Wednesday. And it's stalling you out so that you're being stagnant. Thursday, I have the 9 of Cups and the Hierophant. What you truly wish is a higher level of commitment, whether you think so or not. You just want one that comes with guarantees. That doesn't exist. But there you go. All right. We'll leave it at that. That's what I got for you this week. Okay, Gemini. Mind you, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I'm a Gemini as well, so I get it. I get it. But at any rate, no matter what the cards say, go make it the best 4 days you can. Just go out there and give it heck. No, just go have a good time. I'll be back on Wednesday with your bonus readings, and I'll be back next Sunday to do another one of these. I'm here every morning with the daily energy check-ins. If you want to check those out, they're kind of fun. And then that's it. If you're looking for a private reading, just send me a message, and I will get you the details, okay? I'll never reach out to you first. If somebody does, it's not me. If somebody reaches out to you to please be my friend or please get a reading, that's not me, okay? Even if they have my picture, not me. I'd love to hear from you. You send me a message, I will be tickled pink to get you the details. But I'm never going to reach out first, okay? So please don't get scammed. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for everything. Take care.